Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video, which is one that I could not wait to make because I feel that this is also another big topic when it comes to understanding your people-pleasing tendencies versus kindness. And I know it can be very difficult to sometimes know the difference between when you are doing an act of kindness versus when it's your people-pleasing tendencies speaking up. So today we're going to dive into a little bit about the difference between the two and how you can acknowledge that fine line so you know that you are truly doing something because you are able to and not because you feel like you have to. True kindness stems from a place of genuine care, while people-pleasing stems from a place of fear. Fear of disappointing somebody, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of unless you are overgiving or over-explaining, or that if you just simply stop being an easy person in somebody's life, that they may leave you or just simply view you more in a negative light. This is where the trick comes in, because people-pleasing often makes you feel very rewarded. You get called caring and selfless and somebody that shows up for others whenever you need them. The good person, when in reality, on the inside, you are probably feeling very exhausted and like you've spread yourself way too thin, because deep down, you are not giving freely. You are giving because your nervous system has learned keeping other people happy is far more emotionally safer than being honest about your own needs and what it is that you need. Women learned very early on in life that love meant a lot of accommodation. So they became super hyper aware of other people's emotions and needs while slowly disconnecting completely from their own. You start saying yes when you mean no. You start tolerating things that you know do not feel right or make you a little bit uncomfortable. You begin to overextend yourself or begin to over-explain yourself all the time just to avoid feeling misunderstood by others. You begin to carry the emotional weight of everybody that is around you until eventually you don't even see the fine line anymore or recognize when you are being loving versus when you are just simply abandoning yourself. So how do we begin to recognize the difference? And a very good question to ask yourself in these moments is, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't? And this question will awaken so much in your mind because kindness is very intentional, and people-pleasing, it feels a lot like pressure. And do not forget to check in with the signs that your body is trying to speak with you. So usually with people-pleasing tendencies, your body will show a lot of anxious emotions. You will feel very anxious. You will begin to feel very tense, very guilty or obligated, like you are emotionally responsible for making sure that everybody around you is okay and happy. Kindness will feel much more peaceful and much more aligned. You will not feel that you are pressured to do something, but because you have the genuine capacity within yourself, within your energy to do so, you are able to give without feeling that pressure, and afterwards you will continue to feel aligned and at peace. Do not think for a second that saying no more and becoming less of a people-pleasing person makes you a more cold and selfish person. This is simply just looking like saying no without over-explaining yourself all the time, not immediately jumping to fixing everybody's emotions, especially when you don't feel the best yourself, pausing before jumping to say yes to things that you can't commit to or don't feel comfortable doing so, or allowing people to simply just misunderstand you without scrambling your thoughts and words and putting that pressure to prove your intentions to people. At first, yes, this will feel extremely uncomfortable because your nervous system is relating to new habits and new ways of communicating with people and communicating internally with yourself. But practicing this is teaching your brain that this discomfort does not mean that I am doing something wrong, but you are teaching your brain that one of the most powerful things that it can learn is understanding that healthy relationships can tolerate boundaries, and the people who truly love you and are truly there for you will maybe not always love these boundaries, but they will know that they will need to respect them. And a huge newsflash here is that the people who you notice start to disappear and move away when you start setting boundaries for yourself are the exact people who benefited from you the most when you didn't have them. These are the people that saw that once you started to take care of yourself and stand by and commit to those boundaries, that they no longer had access to a part of you that only ever benefited them. And that is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. Why? Because you are also eliminating the people and energy around you that is no longer needed and that does not benefit you in any way. And a lot of the times, these are the energies and type of people that are keeping you very stagnant. They're keeping you from growing and being the person that you really truly want to be and comfortably for yourself. So if at any moment you realize that your kindness is actually costing you your identity, your self-worth, your peace, any form of your emotional well-being, then that is when you can begin to realize that this doesn't feel like it is a genuine act of kindness. This feels like a very people-pleasing tendency that is starting to awaken again. You do not have to keep shrinking yourself in order to feel easier to love. The people who are truly meant for you and truly meant to be a part of your life will never ever require you to self-abandon yourself in any way just to maintain a connection with you. And one day you will realize, and I truly mean it when I say you will realize, that protecting your peace, honoring your needs, choosing yourself was never selfish. It was the moment when you started loving yourself too. So the goal here is not to become less kind or loving, but the goal is to be able to love and to be able to be kind without losing yourself in the process of it all. And I hope today's video found the audience that resonated with it the most. If you guys have any questions or want me to dive a little bit deeper on certain things that I've talked about in any of my videos, go ahead and leave a comment below, or my email is linked in my bio. If you ever want to communicate that way with me, you absolutely can do so. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.